Choose to break the law and you'll lose. It's that simple. You'll lose it all. Everything important to you, everything you care about, all because you made a bad choice. Now you're inside. Time for choices is past. This is your life. Prison is a place without fun, without things you're used to having, no skateboarding or bike riding, no cell phones, no doors for bedrooms. There's not even privacy in the bathroom. There's just rules and regulations, boredom and fear. This is life inside. This is where bad choices lead.
People don't realize just exactly how much you lose when you go to prison.
Bad choices. New York State corrections officers see the results every day. Life on the inside. Nobody knows more about it than the officers who work there.
And we wake you up in the morning, we put you to bed at night, or your mother, your father, everything else inside that facility.
Inmates in jail will tell me most of their problems was because of drugs or their friends, so-called friends, the gang activity. And here's this kid, like, I absolutely got a look of awe on his face, like, what the hell did I get myself into?
New York State has 70 prisons and almost 70,000 inmates. 13,000 of those inmates are between 16 and 24. We're talking off to a bad start.
If I was 17, 18, doing hard time, and I just got out 10 years later, I can't foresee me having much going for me for the rest of my life.
As soon as you get off that bus at a reception facility wearing cuffs and shackles and shuffle through those doors, you're part of the prison world. Forget the outside world. Your clothes, your hair, your shoes, even your name. It's all gone when they're done with you here. The first thing they do is search you. From this point forward, even your body is not your own.
You're going through the whole outline of the arm. You check his arms, his neck, underneath his collar, around his waistband, his crotch, all the way down to the feet.
Make sure they don't have any contraband on them. Money, guns, knives, drugs.
Time to say goodbye to your street clothes. You could give them away, return them, or trash them, whatever. You won't be needing them. You strip down to your underwear. It's inspection time. Got all your fingers? Got all your toes? Any scars? You have any tattoos? Are they gang tats? What gang are you in? A ton of questions. The state wants to know as much as they can about the people they lock up. Question time is over. Now you're fingerprinted.
From there, he goes into the strip area, where he loses his underwear.
A lot of inmates have no problem using their own body as a hiding place for weapons or drugs. So now you're naked, and you have to show the officers that you're not hiding anything, anywhere.
Show me your hands, up, look in your armpits, behind your ears, go fingers through the hair, show me the bottom of your feet. Now, you go like this, and you bend over. When they go into the female facilities, it's the same thing with the girls.
Next, you're sent to the showers with a special soap that kills any bugs that might be living in your body hair.
From there, they go to the barber shop. They get a haircut, just like the military, bald. If they got any kind of facial hair, they got to shave it off.
It's all gone now. Everything you were or had before you came inside has been taken from you, even your name. You gave it up when you broke the law, and now all you get in return, a state ID number.
It's not Johnny, Joey, Jimmy. Now you're a number.
Even your family and friends on the outside have to learn your new identity.
They want to send you a letter, they want to send you a package, they want to send you money. They have to know that number.
That number on your inmate ID card is your new identity, and that card is your proof that you've made some real loser choices.
As you're now a ward of the state, you're a convict. Plain and simple.
Most of the prisons in New York are upstate, and upstate is a big place. Where you go depends on what you did and where there's room for you. Prison doesn't look like, doesn't sound like, doesn't smell like, or feel like any place you've ever been.
It's a very awakening experience when you hear the door lock behind you, knowing you're not going to get out.
You walk in, gate slam behind you, you hear all this noise, cat calls from the inmates, yelling and screaming going on.
The smell of this prison is very distinct. It's someone rotting from the inside out.
And barbed wire and fences, and it's doors and gates, and it's like a city inside a wall.
Life inside isn't about living comfortable. It's about punishment for your crime. You are given the basics to live, and that's it.
This is a standard cell.
Smaller than a bathroom and maybe a little bigger than a walk-in closet.
The cell will be your everything space. It's your bedroom, living room, playroom, bathroom, and kitchen.
That is your living space. That is yours for your duration of your time. Look through bars and see all cinder block. That would be your landscape.
You'll spend a third of your prison time in your cell, probably more.
I'm 6'1", very limited space once we get inside.
And when you're standing in front of your bunk, this is the amount of space that you have to live in.
From the sink to the other bars, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Your cell has a small stainless steel sink. Cold water only, no hot water. Your toilet is stainless steel too. Bad news is, there's no toilet seat. You sit right on the cold stainless steel.
You have a bunk bed with a mattress on steel, no box spring, one pillow, one blanket, sheets, and a pillowcase.
When they put two people in a cell together, the cell's the same size, just way more crowded. And no, you don't get to pick your roommate.
You could be living in a cell with another individual that hasn't bathed in over a month.
I'm standing in the space that you have between the toilet and the bed. The toilet and the bed. There's your head, there's the toilet.
So that bed that you're sleeping in, if that guy's got to go to the bathroom, he's going to the bathroom right next to where you're laying.
The toilet and the bed.
You have a few things of your own in your cell. The state will give you a set of headphones. You can have a tape player if you've got the money to buy one, or someone on the outside sends you one. CDs and CD players are definitely not allowed.
And this light right here for reading, once there's lights out, which most facilities is about 11 o'clock at night, this is the only access to light that you're going to have.
Cells don't come with closets. A small metal locker about the size of the one you have at school is all the storage space you get for your stuff. A cell doesn't leave room for much of anything, including your privacy.
So the privacy factor is gone. You lost that right. You have no privacy at all.
If you can see out of your cell, that means everyone else can see in.
For security purposes, we have to be able to see you at all and at any given time.
Anytime an officer walks down the tier, he could look into the cell and view what the inmate's doing at that time.
Eating, showering, going to the bathroom, exercising, even sleeping. Doesn't matter what you're doing or when you're doing it. Someone's always watching you.
I walk in the bathroom at any given time because I need to do that for security reasons.
You're not going to get a sound sleep. You're going to have a flashlight flashing on you, making sure that you're alive and breathing.
Prisons are filled with people who've committed violent crimes. And just because they're in jail doesn't mean they still won't attack someone. It just means they have to work harder to get a weapon, which means corrections officers have to keep a closer watch on everyone.
Inmates are out of their cell half of the day, and they are in schools, they're in metal shops, wood shops, they're working with tools.
I've seen cases where bed springs were taken apart, straightened out, sharpened, and they use that as a poking, stabbing device.
I call these one of the perfect weapons. All you have to do is cut them down, shape them like a knife.
Weapons are used to settle scores. to win entry into gangs or just to intimidate other inmates.
And that's one of the things you do on a routine basis is you pat frisk inmates.
And they can be subject to a search at any given time.
Corrections officers are constantly frisking inmates and searching cells looking for weapons. But the inmates keep coming up with new and dangerous ways to get their hands on one.
An inmate had a piece of glass, weapon, attached to a string, and he had the string attached to his tooth, and he had swallowed the glass and it was down in his throat. When we was ordered to take the string out, he did, and had a good 3-4 inch weapon attached to the string.
I had an inmate, I patted him down, and I took his glasses and looked at him, and the earpiece that goes around the ear, I took that off, and the metal part was sharpened right to a point. So he had his weapon disguised as his eyeglasses.
Yeah.
More people probably go to prison because of drugs than anything else, but prison's no cure for a drug habit. Like weapons, it makes getting and using drugs a lot harder, but not impossible, and gives correction officers one more reason to be in your face and in your stuff.
Drugs could come in through packages. I mean, even though it's everything that comes into the facility goes through the package room and it's x-rayed, but there's so many ways to conceal things.
Times if there's powder, you have to dump out the powder.
Here we have such a small cell, and the drugs are so small, you have to go through every single thing there is.
The strip frisk thing is not going away the whole time you're in jail. If you're going out on a trip, you get stripped. If you get put in SHU, which is special housing unit, you get stripped. And they're looking for some drugs or something, everybody's going to get stripped.
Corrections officers don't go through your stuff because they're nosy. They don't frisk inmates because it's fun for them or the inmate. They do it because you've proven you can't be trusted. They do it because drugs plus weapons equals big trouble, just like it did on the outside.
I can't see you being an inmate having privacy. It's unheard of.
They're not your friends, and if they can get something out of you, all you are to them is something they can use.
New York's prisons are filled with sick, dangerous, violent people. Commit crime and go to prison, and these are the people you're going to be with 24/7.
You got rapists, you got murderers, you got child molesters, embezzlers, you got bank robbers, you got young kids that are in here for assault and battery, you got grand larceny, armed robbery, you name it.
You're with the baddest of the baddest. That's pretty much about the way I can describe it. There's a lot of violent people in there.
And there's no such thing in prison as minding your own business. If you're a new inmate, other inmates are going to try and bully you into giving up your money, your clothes, or anything else you have that they want.
All inmates that come into the facility that are new are physically challenged one way or another.
Bigger inmates might try to push up on you if they know you have money. They might try to extort you for money from your family, or if you get food, you might try to take some of your food.
They steal from each other, and there's really nothing they can do about it.
Well, they want to maybe extort you for cigarettes, your commissary goods, sexual favors.
You may be asked to carry drugs or hide weapons for other inmates. If you do it, you could get busted by the corrections officers. If you don't, you'll still pay a price.
You'll be walking out in the yard and they'll just walk up behind you and slice your face or stab you or beat you up, whatever it takes.
You're not always going to be around the officer. And that's the only one that's going to keep you safe.
Corrections officers do their best to protect everyone. It's their job. But there's a lot more inmates than there are corrections officers.
It's just like the police. They can't be everywhere every time. So things are going to happen to you in the jail.
There's 90 guys in each housing unit with one officer. There's no way he's going to watch everybody.
So as much as I'm there to protect them and there for security, and I can't be at every place.
Not until you actually see it yourself firsthand do you realize to what extremes these inmates go to hurt and assault one another.
No matter how tough you are or how tough you think you are, you soon find out it's a hard way to live.
They come to the officer almost begging you for for help, you know, because it wasn't what they expected.
And you have to live in an environment which is very hostile and dangerous.
You got somebody telling you 24 hours a day when you can go to the bathroom, when you can watch TV, when you can go to get something to eat.
In prison, you do what you are told to do, like it or not. It's part of your punishment. The other reason you do what you are told is to try and keep from getting hurt.
If control is lost, people are going to get hurt, possibly killed. We're on a system. We got 2,200 inmates in one facility. We do not cater to anybody.
Everything in prison runs on a schedule. Same thing, same time, same amount, same way, every day. It's the only way to keep order.
I tell you when to get up, when you go to bed, when you can eat, when you could go play, and when you go to school.
You eat when you go to the mess hall. And the mess hall is 3 times a day. And if you don't like what they're having, guess what? See you tomorrow.
From the time that they're seated at their tables till the time they get up, it's about 8 minutes.
You do get 3 nutritionally balanced meals a day, not to be confused with your favorite home-cooked meal or fast food with your friends.
High school food is like going to a 4-star restaurant compared to prison food. Usually in a school, you're allowed to have more than one choice. You don't have that choice here.
That's not an option. They don't get to sit with friends or sit with their buddy or sit with who they live.
You are allowed to shower, but like everything else, you can only do it at certain times, and always somebody's watching. It's a lot different than what you were used to at home.
Inmates are allowed to shower 3 times a week.
If you're not done after 10 minutes, it doesn't matter, you don't finish them. We're on a system.
You're in prison for breaking the rules. But in prison, there's even more rules, and there's penalties for breaking those rules.
We've got a disciplinary system set up into place, and it's a progressive system. So you're entitled to certain privileges, and every time you misbehave, for whatever reason it is, we'll take away certain privileges. Should you be a severe disciplinary problem, you'll be locked into your cell 23 hours a day.
Have inmates that just break down, sit down in the corner crying, they want their mother.
Prison is a long, long way from home. Something that might cheer you up is seeing your friends and family. But they have to come to you, and that's not easy or fun.
For the family coming in, wanting to see their loved ones, they have to go through a certain first procedure too. There's certain things they're not allowed to bring in. They can't bring their lipstick in, they can't bring gum in, they can't bring cigarettes in. They do it one time, and you won't see them come back again because they just don't like the atmosphere.
Sometimes it's just too much of a hassle for family or friends to visit. You want to call home, but you just can't dial down the center anytime you feel like it.
I need to talk to my mom. Well, you're in state prison, and unfortunately, this isn't the time for phone calls. If you can get on the phone when it is time for phone calls, then you can talk to your mom. But there's a list of 59 other inmates. Their telephone calls can be monitored, but they're limited to when they can speak on the telephone. They can't just call anybody. They're limited to certain people that they can call.
Phone calls are collect to the people on the other end. That can get old real fast when the bills start coming in.
Inmates come up and tell me that after a period of time, people stop writing letters to them, stop getting visits, stop answering their collect phone calls. So a lot of these people, after a couple of years, have no family and they have no friends.
So, in the end, prison is all there is. Up at 7, breakfast chow at 7:30, back to your cell to be counted. Out at 9 for programs or work. Lunch chow at noon, an hour of rec time. Back to programs or work. Dinner chow at 5, rec time or showers. In your cell by 9, lights out at 11. Tomorrow, do it again.
We let you out for lunch, and it just repeats again for the afternoon. Evening, same thing. That's all you do 24 hours a day.
Nobody celebrates your birthday. There's no days off, no holidays. The only special day you have to look forward to is your release date, whenever that is.
Seems like kind of a lonely way to spend your time for the next 5, 10 years.
This is where bad choices take you, far away from family, friends, or anything else you know. Nobody knows your name, and nobody cares. Here, you're just a number. You live in a small space surrounded by cement and steel bar. You do not choose what to do, you are told what to do. And it is the same, day after day after day after day. You are always being watched, no matter what you are doing. You have no friends. You are surrounded by dangerous people. They will not hesitate to hurt you if it means getting what they want. This is life on the inside. This is where bad choices lead.
You come do hard time at Attica, it's hard to succeed for the rest of your life there. It's no picnic in there. It's very violent. It's very hostile. You don't want to be there. It's just that simple.
Choose to break the law and you'll lose. It's that simple. You'll lose it all. Everything important to you, everything you care about, all because you made a bad choice. Now you're inside. Time for choices is past. This is your life. Prison is a place without fun, without things you're used to having, no skateboarding or bike riding, no cell phones, no doors for bedrooms. There's not even privacy in the bathroom. There's just rules and regulations, boredom and fear. This is life inside. This is where bad choices lead.
People don't realize just exactly how much you lose when you go to prison.
Bad choices. New York State corrections officers see the results every day. Life on the inside. Nobody knows more about it than the officers who work there.
And we wake you up in the morning, we put you to bed at night, your mother, your father, everything else inside that facility.
Inmates in jail will tell me most of their problems was because of drugs or their friends, so-called friends, the gang activity.
And here's this kid, like, I absolutely got a look of awe on his face, like, what the hell did I get myself into?
New York State has 70 prisons and almost 70,000 inmates. 13,000 of those inmates are between 16 and 24. We're talking off to a bad start.
If I was 17, 18, doing hard time, and I just got out 10 years later, I can't foresee me having much going for me for the rest of my life.
As soon as you get off that bus at a reception facility wearing cuffs and shackles and shuffle through those doors, you're part of the prison world. Forget the outside world. Your clothes, your hair, your shoes, even your name. It's all gone when they're done with you here.